What's going on, MJ traders and investors? It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Thursday, April 4th. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, I've got an exciting update and interesting article here that makes a lot of sense. Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, said that the United Nations never bothered Canada about violating international treaties and whatnot when they moved to legalize at the federal level. And as we know, there's been a lot of pushback and FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt mounting as we see potential for rescheduling is imminent. DEA expected to make their decision really any time now, but more than likely, in my opinion, over the next month or two. I still think it's going to happen more than likely before the end of April, but if not, it should happen before the election and then actually get enacted into law, I think, probably in the end of 2024 or beginning part of 2025, where we actually see the 60-day comment period, and then it actually gets rescheduled, right? It's not going to get rescheduled overnight, even if the DEA comes out and approves that recommendation of Schedule 3 from HHS. But this is interesting. And then also Germany, has been in the UN for 50 years, and there was no pushback or any kind of, consequences that came from them removing it from the controlled substances list. So we're going to discuss that, all of that and more. We also have an interesting article from Ron DeClown. That guy is just out to lunch. But not to get political, I'm Canadian. I don't care about either side of the aisle in the U.S. But man, that guy just needs to get his brain checked. I'm not sure what's going on or what's not going on in there. Maybe he's just not thinking. That's the problem. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. And if you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say. Also, you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And if you go over to the YouTube channel, click on Community, scroll down. I'm going to be doing a giveaway to the Powell Group Private Community 1-year annual membership valued at $150. I'll be giving that away on April 20th. I'll go live and do a random comment picker in celebration of 420 and then Germany going legal, Florida on the ballot for 2024. So you just click on that video. It's an interview with CEO of Nevis Brands. I comment there and I'll do a random comment picker. So this is the MJ Moment article that came out today. The UN never bothered Canada about legal MJ violating treaties, Prime Minister says, as U.S. weighs rescheduling's international implications. And as we know, we have the April 16th, save the date, is going to be the federal budget in Canada, where we could see an improvement to excise taxes, could switch from a flat fee to a percentage fee, which could add tens of millions of dollars to these companies' bottom lines in Canada. Germany coming online. The days of unprofitable LPs and producers in Canada are very limited. And it's not a coincidence that we're seeing tax breaks for the Canadian companies at the same time we're seeing the U.S. companies see potential rescheduling to Schedule 3 and removal of 280E. The two biggest things hindering the industry right now is excise tax in Canada and 280E in the U.S., right? Taxation. So it's not a coincidence. It's puppet masters pulling the puppet strings. It's the Wall Street banks. It's the incumbents, the big alcohol, big tobacco, big pharma, the lobbyists, right, that are trying to hold this industry back while they get positioned, right? There's a reason why they don't want they don't want to release the shackles too quickly, because then they can't get their rich friends involved, right? And their politicians, their JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs, the Morgan Stanleys. So once we get rescheduling to Schedule 3, in my opinion, the most likely scenario, we'll probably get safe banking uplisted to the NYSE and the NASDAQ for the U.S. names, and then they'll deschedule it more than likely from the Controlled Substances Act in the U.S., right? We got to get those big Wall Street banks position first, right? Nothing happens without them. So we got to look after them, right? Not the little guys or what the people want, what the voters want. Majority of people want it legalized, but no, we're going to do the work for the incumbents and our lobbyists and how, try to buy them some time while they can figure out how to get positioned and just dominate and manipulate everything like they always do, right? So Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says that the government's concerned about possible United Nations penalties for legalizing MJ and contravention of international treaties never materialized, disclosing that no officials have as much as discussed the issue with Canada since the reform was enacted in 2018. So no, it wasn't even an issue. They didn't even bring it up to them, right? So again, this is just scare tactics, what they're trying to do, right? They don't want to, like I said, unleash the shackles and have everything go up in a straight line. They want to, these market makers, these Wall Street banks and institutions want to sell the rips and buy the dips, and they want you to buy the rips and sell the dips, right? So the opposite. So it's just a way for them to manipulate and just continue to do what they do best, and it's just the opposite of what markets should be, right? Fair and orderly. It's unfair and unorderly. It's just an absolute joke when you think about it, but as long as you recognize the game, play the game, don't hate the game, hate the player, hate the game. And, if you can't beat them, join them, right? We just have to see it for what it is. And unfortunately, our small dollars next to their billions and trillions, we're just never going to beat them, right? So we have to find out how to play the game and then beat them at their own game, right? The comments come as anti-MJ U.S. lawmakers in Congress spread FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I'm just kidding. But that's basically what they're doing, right? They know that this is going to happen, so they're spreading FUD, right? And they're pressuring the drug enforcement. Remember when Canada legalized, they made like an article that, if you're in the MJ industry, you won't be able to travel to the U.S. It's like, come on. You're out to lunch and friggin' smoking it. Like, you must be smoking the best Tilray product ever because, which craft grower are you buying from? Because that stuff you're smoking is got to be, amazing, or you're just completely out to lunch, right? Like, it's just ridiculous, some of the things that they craft up to try to scare people out of their positions. But the comments come as anti-MJ U.S. lawmakers in Congress are pressuring the DEA to reject MJ rescheduling recommendation based on their argument. Again, more FUD and campaigning to try to, make it seem like it's not going to happen, but it is. And then loosening restrictions would put the country at risk of UN sanctions. Yeah, it's just a scare tactic. And like Justin Trudeau said, they didn't even discuss it with them. They didn't even bring it up. And then Germany's been in the UN for 50 years? They don't seem to be too concerned about international treaties. And then Ron DeClown says Florida voters will reject radical MJ ballot measure, claiming it would reduce the quality of life. I can't even go on to read this because this guy is just an absolute clown. I thought about making his face and turning him into a clown for this thumbnail because Ron DeClown is absolutely out to lunch. This guy needs to have his brain checked. There's something not wired correctly in there. Tell this to people who are terminally ill, who are suffering from terminal illnesses that their quality of life, they're suffering through pain and they're addicted to opioids or whatever. This is just so, I'm trying not to swear, but this is just so effing stupid. This guy, I hate, this is why I hate politics, and this is why I'll never be a politician or a politics channel, because this is just the most stupid, asinine thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Tell this to people with seizures and epilepsy and sleep apnea, any kind of, pain and anxiety. Like, oh my God, this guy needs to seriously get his brain checked. I really don't know what Ron DeClown is smoking, but it's got to be something more than MJ. It's got to be something more than medicine of the future and natural medicine, because he's got to be into the opioids or something like that. He's got to be working with some of these big pharma companies and just getting opioids under the table or something. What are you doing, bud? Like, you smoking the meth or what? I don't know. Schedule 1, it's on the same list as Schedule 1, MJ. You think it deserves to be there for whatever reason, and you don't think that it should be legalized at the state level when the majority of people want it. Like, it's just so stupid. It's even hard to talk about this for any longer than like 4 seconds, because it's just asinine. It's just literally the stupidest thing. And he's not that dumb, right? He's actually not IQ of -5. It's because he's trying to protect the incumbents. He's trying to be, it's right on cue, right? As it's not like MJ stocks have been crashing for the past few days. JP Morgan called him up and said, hey, we need a press release. We need you to put a rally on this. We just flipped short, right? We just made a big short position. We need you to come out and say that some kind of FUD campaign, right? So it's hilarious at the end of the day. Just don't listen to this Ron DeClown. This guy needs to get his head checked and get the hell out of here with that nonsense. Anyways, looking at MSOS, we're very close to the daily bull flag target of 1130. We're less than 3% away. On the day today, we started pulling back daily consolidation, losing a low of yesterday. So 2 days in a row, daily consolidation. But we're still in a daily uptrend as long as we hold the low there at 903. So we're just back testing EMA 26 at the moment, which is at 928. And then, like I said, support at 903. After that, 877. But those are the most important short term. And it could be a head and shoulders forming as well, with a right shoulder, head, shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And then if we do end up seeing that head and shoulders play out, we'd probably go back down to the 0.786 there, around 776. So keep an eye out for that. But as of right now, daily uptrend still intact, and we came very close to hitting that daily bull flag target. You just take your low to the high there, and low to the high, move it out to 0.382 fib, and it's saying 1130. And like I said, show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. Look at technicals. It's not a guarantee. It's just probabilities, and it was saying that, more often than not, these daily bull flags, there was a daily bull flag target on SNDL. There was one on Tilray that all confirmed as well. So if you're only looking at MSOS or Tilray or SNDL, you're not getting the bigger picture. You got to be looking at what all the leaders in the US are doing. What are the leaders in the Canadian space doing, right? And if there's tons of bull flags around the sector, and then most of them start confirming at the same time, then we can expect them to follow through. Sometimes they overshoot, sometimes they undershoot. But this was a perfect example of how technicals can play a role in our decision making, and just having an edge, knowing, if 8 out of 10 indicators that we follow are bullish and saying, $11, well, we're going to anticipate $11. Doesn't mean we have to go there or we're 100% going there. But if 8 out of our 10 indicators that we follow that are very accurate are saying we're going to $7 and we're going down, well, we're probably going to be confident that we're going down, right? And then that way you can be prepared and you're not making emotional decisions based on buying and selling decisions based on emotions, right? Leave the emotions at the door. So, like I said, daily consolidation underway for the second day in a row, but no major red flags whatsoever. We're still in a weekly uptrend as well. Pretty big reversal candle here at the moment. So low of last week is at 903. So that's key support short term. And then after that, 730. So like I said, if we do see a potential daily head and shoulders as well, that could put us somewhere around that 0.786. So there's a lot of support there around the 775 area. But it's looking pretty good at the moment. But like I said, the fact that we hit that daily bull flag target and then off of the low, we've seen 56% of upside. Not surprising to see a 10-15% pullback at the moment, which is basically where we are, right? So the daily bull flag target was met. Great idea to go bullish here on that daily bull flag. Even if you went on the bull flag confirming, that would have been a nice, if you even just went that would have been 18% swing trade. And then you could set your stop below the 0.382 fib there at 865, because if we lost that, we would negate it and no longer expect that bullish continuation. And then once we got close to 1130 or $11, you could have started to short, right? Not that many people want to short an MJ. I've actually never shorted MJ in my life, and I don't plan to, because I just don't believe in it. And I'll short, all these big tech companies because they got more money than they know what to do with. But it's just so much manipulation in the MJ industry. And yeah, it's medicine of the future, best industry in the world. And natural medicine is the best industry. So why are you going to short it? Up only from here. No, I'm just kidding. There's going to be pullbacks, but just be aware that, this is how they play the game, right? They're crooks. They should be behind bars. But unfortunately, they make the rules and they're in power. So they're going to protect themselves and their friends, right? So, and especially the incumbents, the big alcohol, tobacco, pharma, etc., lobbyists, you name it. So anyway, let me know what you think of this news. Ron DeClown, can't even friggin' think about that guy for any longer than I have already. And Justin Trudeau, a lot of controversy around him as a leader, but he did point out very good points there and brought up that makes a lot of sense. And then, Germany just legalized as well. So it's going to be interesting. I think rescheduling is imminent. All right, going in it there. It's Rob with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you again on the next update.